Okay, welcome back everybody. We are going to be walking through a really quick overview of compost tea, aka bio tea. We are renaming it bio tea because it's more about the biology than just compost. We actually want to add a few different sources of biology if possible. You typically want to add a new and a old compost if you have it. Indigenous microorganisms, otherwise known as IMO. That's going to be found like in your garden bed or in the forest, a local forest or grass field. And also vermicast. Vermicast is very important. So we are actually adding two different types of vermicast. This is vermicast from last year that we had. We brought fresh vermicast in from our worm farm at the plant. And then this bucket here is two different places in our garden, two different beds in our garden that we put into this bucket. And we mixed it all around. So if we look at this, you can't really see anything, but this is two different places in our garden. This is compost. This is two different types of vermicast. And so we've got about 5 different types of IMOs in here. So when we're making bio tea, we're going to have a couple things to set up. I'm using 2 buckets because we've got about 130 linear feet of 30-inch beds. So you've got a bucket. You've got an aerator. I've got 4 ports on my aerator. The water you want to use is important. You need to dechlorinate it. So if you're using city water, you have to either let it sit outside for 24 hours or you have to aerate it for about 2 to 3 hours. You also need your microorganisms. That's part 1. And then you also need your food, which is the booster. That's the bio booster. This is the bio blend, and then you need your screen bags to put it in. So we're going to walk through this real quick. This is one of the aerators actually bubbling, and then here's a close-up of, I just tied it to a weight, and we can just put that in there, and we'll get our bubbles. So in order to make our actual blend, we're going to pour it into this mesh bag, and then we're going to suspend it. We're going to suspend it over top of our mix. So we're just going to do about bear with me. Half in here. And half in here, right? It's all in the bag. Fold the bag over. Bamboo stick is just going to help the bag sit in top of there. Then you want to take this bag and you want to agitate. You want to agitate the bag. So what you're trying to do is you're just trying to get all of the food and the microorganisms mixed together. I actually would have rather, if I wasn't trying to video and do this at the same time, pour it in this bucket here. And that's a much better way to mix it up. Now it's going to be really consistent. So with the second bag, we're just going to pour that into this bag too. It's very hard to film this at the same time. Promise I'll figure out how to do videos. I just don't have any equipment yet. Just my 2 hands. So again, we're just going to put this in the bucket. We're going to agitate it. Now we're going to let this sit for 24 hours before we apply it foliarly into on all of our plants and as a soil drench. So we'll walk through that process tomorrow. I'll post something walking through that, but we're going to be taking this, putting it out into the garden. We're going to do this. Typically, you do it at first true leaf. Then you're going to do it maybe once a week for maybe a month, and then twice a week to once a month after that. Ideal temperature range is ambient air temperature, and the ideal ambient air temperature is 74. So it just started to get warmer out. This is actually the first one I've done. I've been very late with doing this, but we also have really, really healthy living soil beds already, so I wasn't too worried about all my plants getting off to a good start. And if we just want to kind of complete what's going on here, let's take a look just real quick at where we are at today. We've got a lot of growth going on. This is just our 10 by 20 bed, and we've got the garlic over there. We've still got the rest of the kale and the spinach. And then we have strawberries. These are all strawberries in here. They're huge already, but we actually are branding our BioTea Boost and Blend as Stick 'em Up Tea, because leaves to the sky. Once you give them this stuff, it's like giving them steroids. It's all natural, it's all organic. But it's like giving them steroids because they will stick straight up in the air. It's amazing. It's like arms up. Stick 'em Up Tea from the Biosoil Company. Get on it. We'll have products on this soon, but that's the process. So we're going to do this a bunch during the growing season. This is a really great way to introduce biology that may not be present in large enough numbers, as well as introduce micronutrients into your system and into your plant directly through foliar and through soil drenching. What we are actually accomplishing here, if you're still sticking through to this point, is we are multiplying the biology in here. So let's say there's 1,000 microorganisms in here, which we're not really sure how many there are, but let's say there's 1,000 different types of microorganisms and our 5 different types of biological inputs. Those microorganisms with the food will double every approximately 5 to 20 minutes for that 24-hour period. So if you start off with, let's say we put in 5 or 6 handfuls of vermicast and soil and compost. Let's say in a healthy handful of soil, you have approximately 1 billion organisms. Those 6 billion plus or minus a couple billion organisms are going to double every 5 to 20 minutes up to it gets to a max population height, saturation population. That's somewhere between 15 and 30 hours. 24 hours is typically the standard. Then you're going to be taking that very, very densely concentrated microbial population and introducing them to your plants directly. They're going to take them up through the stomata, and then you're also going to be introducing it to the soil system itself. That's going to help to break down nutrients in the soil system to make available for your plants. And it's also introducing nutrients from the blend itself, and also the nutrients that the organisms are already breaking down. So it's a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous resource. It's very, very low cost. It requires very low inputs to give an enormous boost to your plants in a biologically organic, biointensive living soil system. So this is a huge product. This is a foundational product of the Biosoil Company. I'm really proud to start getting these products out there and introducing this information out there, and I hope you guys are interested and start doing it and learn more about it. But that's BioTea by the Biosoil Company. We've been doing it for years, and Stick 'em Up Tea is the name of it. Get yours in the future. We're going to be carrying it soon enough, next year. Thanks for listening, and like and subscribe if you found this valuable. It really helps. Thanks.